Meet MojoPix, a Santa Monica-based startup that is hoping to change the way you deal with photos taken with your smartphone. It all starts with a great idea, and MojoPix has got that. Now they're looking for that big breakthrough that will take them to the next level.
Hi, my name is Gary Carter. Today on Concept to Code, we're going to talk a little bit about digital advertising. Now, Colin, advertising. Obviously, the goal here is to get your mobile app downloaded as much as possible. How do you plan to do that?
Sure, Gary. So we're going to approach advertising in 3 ways. The first is with Facebook. When I looked out to my peers in the startup community, the word on the street was that Facebook ads really work. So we'll start there. Second place is Tapjoy. Tapjoy is a content network that provides mobile app installs to their user base, and we're really excited to start to try that. And then the last area is something new from Twitter called Object-Based Campaigns. It's a program that's in beta, and we're really excited to see how that works.
Cool. Now, beta. Now, it's good in a way, but do you have any concerns about being the guinea pig and without there being data to support the success of that?
Sure, always concerns, but at the same time, it's a new program. It'll get a lot of attention, so we're hoping to really leverage that.
Okay. Well, I hope your questions are answered in today's show. When we come back, we're going to hear from Phil Schraeder. He's the COO of GumGum, and he's going to talk about digital advertising. Stay with us.
Welcome to Concept to Code, where you'll learn from the experts who are making Santa Monica a hotbed of technological innovation. Here to learn from our experts is MojoPix, a Santa Monica startup that wants to help you make the most of the photos you take with your phone. The experts are here. MojoPix is here. All on Concept to Code.
Today's topic on Concept to Code is digital advertising. How do you get consumers to see your ads? Now, we're going to learn how to do it the Silicon Beach way today. Phil Schraeder is the COO and CFO of GumGum. It's an online ad platform company creating ads that stick. Love it. Phil is responsible for financial planning, management, accounting, and human resources at GumGum. He has over 13 years of experience in tech, media, and public accounting, and obtained a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy with a communications minor from Northern Illinois University. Please welcome our guest mentor, Phil Schraeder.
Hi, nice to meet you,
Thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thank you so much.
Take it away.
Glad to be here. Appreciate it.
Great.
So what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about is let's take a little step back over the whole landscape of digital advertising, and then I'll talk specifically around how GumGum is influencing the change and what's happening within digital advertising. So first, a really quick overview about GumGum. So we were founded in Santa Monica in 2008. And we actually were the inventors of in-image advertising back in 2008. So we have proprietary and patented technology. And what we've been able to do with that is take that and turn that into a scalable media platform. And today, as we stand 6 years later, we have around 100 employees. We're in 6 US offices across the country, and we're taking this thing global. So it's a really exciting time for us. So let's take a quick step back. And let's look at the digital ad LUMAscape. Now this slide looks extremely busy. But what you can see is there's really, let's take it a step back and make it really easy to understand. There's a marketer, let's say a brand, and then at the end of digital is the consumer, someone sitting at their computer or on their tablet or on their phone engaging with that ad. And what happens all the way in between this? And you can see it's so busy. We have the agencies that buy for the brands. We have networks that actually provide ways for the ads to be reached to that consumer. We have all of the different companies that help supply data and analytics and actual measurement tools. So it's such a vast landscape that when you look at how it's constantly evolving so quickly, you have to figure out, one, what's happening in the industry, but you really have to feel like, how do I fit in with that niche opportunity? So for us, in 2008, it was the power of images. As we look at this slide, you have a dog, you have a cat. What are you feeling? They're channeling you to feel emotion. And if you think about it, there's never ads that really utilize that landscape of a page. And so what we went to do is we wanted to know everything there was to know about images, technology, and from the programmatic side of knowing what's in an image. And then we parlayed that into driving relevant ads, contextually relevant ads to these images. So not only do you see better user engagement, but the users are not, they're enjoying to see what they're getting. They're enjoying to see the ads that they're actually seeing. And they're making sense for what content they're consuming at that time. So what our mission is to place marketing messages in line with content where consumers are actively engaged. And so our thesis is we need to focus and be smart for our brands and be smart for our publishers and the users who are on our websites that work with us. So we need to make sure these ads are viewable and that you can actually see them. We need to make sure they're relevant and they align with what you're actually consuming in content at that time when you're online. And then we want to make them engaging, nice, rich, and beautiful, and make them inviting, and take that experience of the content and elevate it. So how did we do that? We've done that with our 2 core products. And what you can see here is 2 products that accomplish very similar things, but in a little bit of a different fashion. Our core business of our in-image offer really highlights here a great segue into looking at where do your eyes go here. We're looking at this photo, we're looking at him talking to the New York Rangers defenseman, and we have a Gillette ad, right, aligned at the bottom. This can be animated, rich media, elevate it, but you're no longer looking at other areas of a page, but we're also not blocking your content. We're giving you an ad that's experienced within that and feels like it's part of that image. And on in-screen as well, you're looking at a mobile, you're looking at a phone or a tablet. We want to be able to provide you a relevant ad that kind of sits with you at the bottom. As you scroll, it's persistent and allows if you're interested to engage. So we've been able to turn this into a multi-million-dollar business. And when you think about it, as we continue to look at advertising as a whole, and you look at all of these great publishers that we work with here, they're always looking for solutions on ways to monetize, and they're always looking on ways to not only make money, but help their consumers always feel that they're thinking of them and it's not always about ads. And so when we were working with Shape or OK, and we have 340 million unique visitors, we have over 2,000 publishers and 5 billion asset impressions. So we have access to all of these images exclusively to GumGum so that we can work with all these publishers and tweak it and throttle it and actually allow it to be customizable to them and to think about how they want their users to see our ads. And by having that great offering and having that reach and having that scale, we've been able to kick off an amazing business that has been growing over 200% year over year and working with some really great brands, Ford, Toshiba, Sony. We work with all the global ad agencies. We've done over 1,000 brand campaigns, and we have over 100 billion image impressions. I mean, this just tells you just the breadth of how there was such a demand for when you're sitting there consuming content on a web page that we're no longer looking at what we're used to seeing on the top banners and on the rectangles on the right-hand side, and we're trying to put personalized feeling, relevant content within that image. So some of the trends that are happening right now that we as a business need to be really focusing on is that brands are spending a lot of money, right? It's continuing to grow. More money is shifting from traditional print and television into digital. And with it being in digital, you have so much data. And now brands are demanding to look at that data and start questioning, how are you spending my money? And so with viewable versus seen, we need to make sure that we're saying to the brand, well, where our ad lines up with those photos, it's viewable. We can do that through measuring that viewability with third parties that actually test that and confirm that. But when you just think of the overall landscape of a page, it kills it. So as you can see from this heat map study right here, where are your eyes going? If we think to our own habits, you know you're looking at headings and you're looking at photos. The photos are evoking emotion, and we want to make sure that we take advantage of that opportunity. We see the rise of programmatic ad spending. So we know we need to be able to really pay attention to that. The channels of what's happening and what's the momentum is that brands want to be able to buy smart advertising, delivering their message, have the users be positive and engaged, but want to be able to do that programmatically and allow them to start to change at any given time to be more adaptable. And you can see the growth in billions of dollars over the course of the next 5 years, how much of that programmatic adoption is really there. So we need to be present. Brand adoption. This is key. I mean, as you look at any other type of industry, you need to pay attention within that industry, who are the companies that are representing as the thought leaders and putting in self-regulation. So working with members of like IAB and the ANA, the NAI, so that we're listening to what we need to be doing to put out there ads that work within what users are expecting. So things like viewability measurement tools, Things like brand safety. Brands want to know they're protected on where their content and their ad is being served, onto what types of content. Are you really hitting the audience I'm looking to hit? You know, a brand like Maybelline, when they spend money and want to hit females 18 to 35, they want confirmation that they can do that. And so you need to really understand how you can work with these agencies, be ahead of it, and offer that. And all of these auditing and measurement vendors that continue to evolve. So as digital evolves, so does all of the regulation. And as display advertising and spend continues to grow, we need to be present there, and we need to make sure our solution not only performs results, but is respecting and ahead of all of these demands here from these different agencies. And then, of course, mobile. I mean, you need to know that we all are consuming mobile at a rapid pace, and it's growing super, super quickly. So our units need to be able to adapt, and they need to be engaging. And as mobile continues to evolve and solutions for brands continue to try to work themselves out, we know we have a great solution that translates to mobile, from page and photo galleries to persistent ads that sit at the bottom of any size device, that we're able to follow that trend, and we're able to be great stewards for our publishers and say we can service you on your mobile inventory and help you make money, and of course for advertisers to get there. So I just want to, as we overlook at the overarching digital advertising scape, the big thing is that you really need to be able to focus on where you fit in that overall Lumascape, identify yourself with differentiation, and then make sure that you're constantly having an ear to the ground and listening to the regulation and what's happening so you can be ahead of the curve. And all of those components have what really been able to, I think, thwart us and make us really successful. So thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity and the time.
Thank you so much, Phil, for your presentation and insight on digital advertising. It's a great presentation. When we come back, we're going to meet our startup Mojo Picks and chat a little bit with Phil about digital advertising. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Santa Monica is in a perpetual state of innovation. At the center of it all is the entrepreneur, giving to the ecosystem and being fueled by it. But what exactly fuels the entrepreneur?
The reason why we moved to Santa Monica was to get access to the great talent pool that is in the city.
What inspires us is the weather, the ocean, the people, and the city itself.
Both Mitch and I like to surf every morning.
A great way to start the day.
One of my favorite things to do, come out here, bring my laptop, connect to what is a choice Wi-Fi connection.
I am one of the few lucky people I know that gets to ride my bike to the office.
The city is always finding new and innovative ways to make it an incredible place to both live and work in.
It's great to be in the middle of that action and being able to just tap into what Santa Monica has to offer.
I am the admissions manager for General Assembly.
I work for a local company, Lionsgate Entertainment.
I'm the Santa Monica's Youth Technology Program Coordinator.
I'm the IT manager for the Lowe's Santa Monica Beach Hotel. I'm the COO and co-founder of Callfire.
I'm the founder of Favorite.
I'm the founder of Down to Earth Media.
We are a tech company. Our internet connection is very important to us.
And CityNet was really crucial in our initial growth.
It's been a rock-solid service, one of our top providers for connectivity.
The internet's not affected at all. We have great gigabit speed. We bring 30 or more students to these co-working spaces.
And they have come through with speeds that throw all their competition in the dust.
Seeing the evolution of a startup, implementing a new idea that's going to have a positive impact on society, it never gets old.
Mojo Picks is a Santa Monica startup that is going to change the way you use the photos you take with your phone. They are here today on Concept to Code to listen and learn from the experts about how to take their next big step forward.
And welcome back. Today we're talking about digital advertising. We're fortunate to have Phil Schraeder with GumGum, and Phil, meet Colin Vincent with Mojo Picks.
Pleasure to meet you. Excited to chat today.
Likewise.
So I know, Colin, we talked a little earlier about your approach and your thing about Facebook ads. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So the two Facebook ads we're looking at are app installs and page feed ads. The app install is an ad where when you click on it, you actually get the app install right from the ad. And the page feed ad is a link out to an external site like a landing page or a website where you can engage and or sign up for the beta if that's the current state of affairs. I'm kind of curious to know what you think about the two different types of ads that are offered.
Yeah, I definitely think that you're really smart to go with Facebook. I think they've really been the lead in really being able to understand and really nail down some mobile advertising, especially around mobile apps and engagement. I think the install app side really is where you probably want to be focused. And I think if you take that and then you ingest video within that app install ad so that it actually can be a video that engages, which you see higher conversion on because it stands out amongst your feed, I think that's a huge opportunity. And then driving that directly to iOS or to Google helps you kind of get that immediate conversion. I think if you parlay that with your own organic likes that you have from your already organic traffic and you really push kind of targeted ad messaging through Facebook to that group, it really sends that implied endorsement within a friend that really goes so long. And that's really qualified traffic. This is qualified traffic in which people are actively seeing how you're presenting Mojo Picks out there and then they're excited to launch it. And I think that's where you're going to kind of continue to see longer engagement. So I think it's a really smart idea to be focusing there.
Excellent.
There's some other opportunities you were looking at engaging with. What was it? Tapjoy, I think it was?
Tapjoy and Jamp were two that we're considering.
Yeah, Tapjoy. There's another one, Fixu, that you might want to check out as well. I think they're really incentivized networks. So I think there are advantages and disadvantages, but I think if you use it as part of your well-rounded marketing solution that you push out, I think it can be really a great complement to your Facebook positioning on the marketing spend there. Because I think utilizing a Tapjoy or Fixu for what are called burst campaigns, spending the money over a specific period of time for a day or two, and what that'll do is it'll generate a lot of conversion and a lot of app downloads. But they tend to not be the most qualified in users because they're incentivized to download your app because they're getting something. You're getting a level up in a game. They're getting, more coins for their slot machine game. But what it does do is it does move you up in the App Store and in the download store. And what that inherently does is when people look for new apps and what's happening, they see you there, they see people are downloading you, they're more likely to take a chance, read more, and do it. So I think if you take that and you marry that with Facebook and you time that appropriately, you can really kind of together have a really strategic way to be mobile advertising to drive additional app downloads.
Awesome.
Wow. Now,
That's
Twitter.
great.
You mentioned Twitter also. Now, you're not speaking about just tweeting about your app. Talk about a little bit how you're planning on using Twitter. There's a new beta.
So Twitter has a new advertising program called Object-Based Campaigns, and I don't know very much about it, but I'm excited to try it out, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's super, super smart to be leveraging new beta opportunities because as you even look at Facebook, the ad units, we're all used to seeing them now. And it's just a natural progression with any types of advertising, especially around digital, where people tend to be a little bit more, get frustrated or start to have user fatigue on that type of advertising. Whereas now Twitter's new object-based, which I'm still really interested too to see how it performs, and a bunch of my peers are excited to try it too, is that it's an opportunity to be first to market with that type of advertising. And I think the knowledge of what the Twitter user base is and the people that are really loyal to Twitter tend to be the most tech savvy. So they tend to be where MojoPix has a great tech behind it. And I think the appreciation for what the foundation is that's built MojoPix will really resonate well with that audience. And so I like that you're thinking about that and looking at those opportunities because I think I would definitely take advantage of that.
Great.
You talked about in-image digital advertising, Phil, in your presentation. And now, if I go to Yahoo or New York Times, and I'm going there specifically to look at something, I have a goal, and I don't want to be frustrated by seeing ads that I don't want to see. How do you balance that versus injecting something that I do want to see in a cool way? I mean, what's the balance between that?
Great question, and that's what makes what we do so, I love that, because we work with the publishers. The publishers, at the end of the day, they know how their users want to be affected by advertising, and they also know they want to make money. So our solution is one that really allows them to customize it. So things like frequency capping. Hey, I only want one of my users to see an in-image ad once every 24 hours. And when they do see that in-image ad within once every 24 hours, it's a relevant ad to that user and to the content that they're consuming. So if they're looking at a sports photo and they're looking at something like that, and you, through a lot of your insights, it's a male that's looking at that, you might serve the Gillette, like I mentioned in my presentation, but they're not going to see a Maybelline mascara ad, right? So it's going to feel a little bit organic and native to what they're consuming at the time, but at the reins controlled by the publisher. And I think that's really key, because at the end of the day, they know the most about their audience, and they want to make money, but they want to service their users.
Great. And then traditional methods, print, radio, anything. I'm not sure. I've actually seen quite a few ads on buses. The Big Blue Bus has some, but also that Starlight Tours. There's like YouTube channels and things like that. And I don't know. What do you think about that?
Sure. Great opportunity. I think it's going to be a lot more expensive and not where we are out of the gate, but definitely something we want to consider as we grow. And I want to know what your thoughts on where to start in that area are.
Right. I totally agree. I think traditional print advertising for an audience that's under 35 and where your ultimate goal is to shorten the window to get an immediate conversion, it's not really going to do that. That's more of a branding and awareness play at this point, so I would stay away from it at this point. Similar to where Gum Gum was at a various stages we grew, we had to be really prudent with where we were spending our marketing efforts. So we, as for my presentation, we have publishers we need to get excited and we need advertisers. So our money was focused on how do we alert you of our offering and show you how great it is. Now as we've grown over the last 6 years, now we're at the point of continuing that brand awareness. We're taking it global. We're now going a lot and spreading our wings marketing-wise. So for you to keep that message, I think digitally on the Facebook and those types of plays are smart. I do think there's huge fun opportunity around how do you take that and then change what you think is traditional print advertising and change that to how do you incorporate with a YouTube star, and how do you get a YouTube star to kind of try it out and use it and incentivize them and reach their loyal organic audience that they have tremendous amount of followers. That's an interesting way to immediately get people that trust who they're watching to support what you're doing and then automatically watch the uptick. And because you have the data, you can see the effect after you did something like that. See if it was worth it.
Awesome.
That's an interesting idea. Do you have any stars or famous people that might want to use your app?
There's actually someone who's an up-and-coming star. It's a longtime family friend. Her name's Anna Luno. She's a DJ. She was at Coachella this year. She's signed by William Morris, and she just released her LP on iTunes, and it hit #7 on the dance charts in the U.S.
Perfect.
And she'll be one of the promoters early on.
Great, and I think that's so smart, and I think that really hits your demo, and I think immediately kind of allows for that organic growth of the installs that are qualified that you want, because you want that engagement to happen. So once you have that engagement, you have that user base, then you can start really getting excited about how you're going to make money off of it. But right now it's really focused about kind of making sure the word spread and you have as many people engaged with your product, I'm imagining.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have your strategy all set. I'm curious to see how it goes. And I think, folks, that's all for our show today on digital advertising. Thank you, Phil Schraeder with Gum Gum, for joining us today. I think the next time you see an digital image ad, you'll know it's Gum Gum.
It's Gum Gum.
It's Gum Gum. I love it. Thank you for joining us today on Concept to Code, and we'll see you back next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.